So just see this question. This question came in GATE 1998 and it's about round robin CPU scheduling algorithm. It's a very interesting question. You see what they have asked. Consider n processes sharing the CPU in round robin fashion. Okay. If here CS denotes context switch. If context switch time is s seconds, here context switch time is s seconds. Okay. What must be the time quantum Q? Here time quantum is Q, such that the number of context switches are reduced. Okay. But at the same time, each process is guaranteed to get the turn at CPU for every t seconds. So here I tell you what they want to say. So generally, whatever question we have solved till now regarding round robin CPU scheduling algorithm, in all those questions, time quantum used to be given in the question. But here in this question, they are asking the time quantum. Here time quantum is not given. Okay. So option A, B, C, D are there. We have to select one option. Okay. So now let's solve it. Don't worry, I will tell you the meaning of this question with this figure. So it's a ready queue. Okay. So here I assume there are 3 processes in the ready queue. Okay. So number of process, here it's written n processes. So I consider n is equal to 3. We have 3 processes in the ready queue. So how they will run? Suppose process P1 is there. Okay. So process P1 will first run till its time quantum. Okay. And after that, there will be a context switching. So context switching time will take s seconds. So here it will take s seconds. Okay. This shaded part represent context switch time. So this represent s seconds. Okay. And after that, CPU is given to process P2. Okay. So process P2 will run for at most q seconds. Okay. So here I will write q. And again there will be a context switch. So here I will write s. I hope it's visible to you. And after that, again CPU is given to process P3. So it will run for q seconds. And again there is a context switching. Now, since there are 3 processes and it's a round robin CPU scheduling algorithm, we assume that the process P1 is not yet finished. So again here CPU will be given to process P1. So here I will write process P1 again. Okay. And it's a context switching. This is the context switch time. Okay. So now in the question, they are asking to find out, they are telling you that each process is guaranteed to get the turn at CPU for every t seconds. It means what? Here P1 finished its first time quantum at this point. It means what? After t seconds, again P1 will get the CPU. After t second, again P1 will get its turn. So from here to here, it's a t second. Okay. So now you see these t seconds include 1, 2, 3 context switches and 2 processes, means what? 2 time quantums. Okay. So here I will write small t is equal to this t time context contains 3 context switches. It means what? 3 into s, because context switch is s. Okay, 3 into s. So here n is 3. So in place of 3, I am writing n into s plus 2 time quantum. 2 time quantum. It means what? 2 into q. So since n is equal to 3, here in place of 2, I will write n minus 1. So here n minus 1 into q. Fine. So now you see, at every t second, each process will get its turn. So what does it t second contains? It contains n number of context switches plus n minus 9 number of time quantum. 3 context switches plus 2 time quantum are present in these t seconds. Okay. Now here one thing is there. It's not necessary in round robin CPU scheduling algorithm that each process should execute till time quantum, because sometimes it is possible that the burst time of a process is less than the time quantum. It's possible. Suppose I am telling you, suppose the burst time of process P2 is less than the time quantum. Suppose. So here, will P2 execute till time quantum? No. Say the burst time of P2 is, say, 1 second. Okay. 1 second. And the time quantum is suppose 2 seconds. So we'll process P2. Here I am taking an example. Okay. So here process P2 will process P2 execute till time quantum? Obviously no. Why it will execute till time quantum? Because it has only 1 second burst time. So it will simply execute till its burst time. So it means what? Here the process executes at most till time quantum, not at least. Okay, maybe less than the time quantum a process can execute. Okay. So here, if I consider that P2 execute lesser than the time quantum, because say P2's burst time of P2 is less than Q. So maybe, so here, if this happens, then obviously these things will be, lesser than T, because here full T, here small t means what? Here we are considering that each process will execute till the end of its time quantum. Okay. Here T means what? Here T is considering time quantum as well as context switches. Okay. But regarding Q, regarding time quantum, T is considering that each process will execute till the end of its time quantum. But it's not actually correct. Some process may execute less than its time quantum. Okay. So that's why I have written here. So here T is greater than is equal to this one. Okay. So from here you can find out the value of Q. Q is less than T minus Ns by N minus 1. Okay. So option A is correct. So I hope you got it. Thank you.